Hey everyone, how's everyone doing? Metaphysical Mama, welcome, welcome. It's your first time visiting. Welcome back if you're revisiting. So appreciate. We got a full, or not full, excuse me, new moon in Scorpio. So if you have Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Uranus, in your chart is I think what is it? I think this new moon is it square Uranus? We'll check it out. So there's lots of stuff going on in the charts. And prosperity lies ahead. So we're just gonna tap in a little and see what energy we get that comes out. I got in the bottom. You and your loved ones are safe. And before I started the reading, I was shuffling the animal spirit deck I was going to use today, and this came out, so I wanted to leave it because, right, Pluto's all about transformation and Scorpio and new moons. So this is pretty a nice way of looking at, right, say death and rebirth rather than quite so negative. What energies the collective dealing with? What do we got on the plate, on the platter? I'm just going to pull a few cards and I'm going to actually read a little about the moon and Scorpio. And I think I'm going to actually go into the mythology, into Scorpio a little bit. Let's dive in there since that's where our new moon is, you know. And Ballroom Blitz is playing in the background. Can you dig it? I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. Like I just said. I got the little butterfly, right? Life is over as a caterpillar, my little caterpillars. And sometimes we don't know, right? Caterpillar doesn't know it's about to transform into a butterfly. It's 515 right now. So, right, though it's very scary and it can seem like a complete ending, but there's no such thing. Ballroom Blitz. No such thing. We need to learn how to start living. Yeah, fear. Get out of that fearful state of being. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. And that's what's up. Fear can rear its ugly head. And the acronym for fear, I say often, is false evidence appearing real. Or fuck everything and run. Run. Right? We get scared, we run away. And I wrote, that's actually, if you want to read the description, balance, there's a little to do in there about all that. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment, which can be really scared when we're coming from our, again, human perspective, or even say, right, trying to hold on to our crown or our godly, what king, queen, divine, right? God, goddess, right? Human. We could turn into little monster devil brats, right? We play all these parts. Health, that's in there too. Our health is our wealth, right? I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. And like the title, that was from the moon cards too. I wasn't sure what to title the freaking, I never do. And so spirit, yeah, I just shuffled the deck and the two moon cards out of my other deck that I pulled out were whatever I wrote the title. I don't even remember. That was on my Shows where my mind's at. I have a light as a feather. Blow me right away. Oh, hold your vision. It's how hold your vision. And hold your vision. I got part of it. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Whoa, whoa. So when we got fear coming up, right, which is constant, we're afraid we won't be accepted. We're afraid we won't be loved. We're afraid if we change, people will get upset with us, right? We're afraid we may fail. We're afraid we won't stay. A lot of fear that can come up for me is right not being consistent, because it's like I have so many ideas, but then it's very hard for me to compartmentalize and put things right into order, right? The 1, 2, 3 part. I kind of, I come from, it's like blackness and then, ooh, poof. And then it's like, wait. And it's like I dropped all this stuff behind me. So, and then, I'll get into my own, right? Like, right, if you can feel, then I can feel when I'm in a mode like that, right? That then I'll look stupid if I try to go back and get it, or I already passed that point. Now forget it, right? We give up. We can give up before we even, right? Instead of having to go back, just remember to be still and then allow what we need to come up into that moment so we don't keep running and falling down that hill like Jack and Jill. 519, ancestral blood cleaning time. So, as we just, to be playful with our, I'm gonna leave these out actually. Let's keep them out for this reading because we're gonna play. We're gonna play a little today. And we got falling trust. Wouldn't let me hold on to it. Not a problem. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. And sometimes we don't trust that. And then we talk ourselves out of everything, right? I'm not good enough, right? We backtrack, and then we feel lost. And then it's like, forget it. And then we forget. Then we forget who we are. We wonder why we're all gods with amnesia and goddesses, right? Like, because we set it and forget it so often. And then we're like, yay! We see somebody walking around with something and we're like, oh. But what did we forget to take a look at, right? Did we let the false evidence appearing real run us? Did we forget to realize that we're testing our resolve to live in the energy of love? It's like that's where we have to muster up, right? Colonel Mustard, gotta muster up that mustard seed and the strength, and right, dare to be different, right? Dare to tell the truth, right? Truth or dare to tell the truth. But we don't have to like put it all out there like that. But right, like little bits at a time, right? Like let yourself like, should I or shouldn't I? Sometimes it's like, right, like Nike, just do it. Just do it. Well, but discernment. I'm not saying won't be twisting my words around there. Twisters. They stopped playing my music already. A long pause there. Let's see, what else shall we do? So let's read about the moon quick, because that was actually really cool. Always is. Get my computer here. What song are they playing for me? What song are they playing for me now? Let's see. I'm gonna fit my little. Can't can't be seeing my you can't be seeing my passwords and shit. All right, let's see what we got. Moon in Scorpio, and it says 12 degrees here. And I'm going to probably read the Sabian symbol for Scorpio 0 degrees because it's a new moon, and 12 degrees that it has. I'm reading off of it's called mooncalendar.astroseek.com. It's pretty cool. It gives you the lunar calendar. It lets you know what organs are influenced by the moon and which sign it's in. So I'll give you a little, let's read a little about it. Moon in Scorpio creates the need to delve into your feelings as deep as possible, right? Deep into the abyss, into the unknown. Ooh, and I pulled the unknown rune today too. All right, so let's see. You desire meaningful emotional exchanges now, more than at any other time, even if it is not easy, and you are forced to change many things. That's definitely Pluto Scorpio. Shallow relationships do not satisfy you because they are not purifying enough, right? And this is big detox time, letting go what no longer serves us, right? Eating better. That means like, right? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, physically, right? How are we eating? What kind of thoughts are we thinking? What kind of food that we're actually putting into our mouth are we putting into our body to allow it to run off of? What thoughts are we allowing ourselves to think? And what feelings are we allowing to take up a lot of space and rent space? Right? Just becoming a little more aware means we're being more accountable. So we're doing our right, we're our reconciling. We're going through our checks and balances, right? It's like accounts payable, accounts receivable. Balancing out our checkbooks, right? The scales, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly. So we got to sometimes just take the time and allow ourselves to go through what we got to go through. Because otherwise we're at this point, we're gonna get pushed through. And that's not a great feeling, right? So it's like, Geronimo, you want to, and sometimes we need the push, and that's okay too. You know, sometimes it's like with me, sometimes I can get scared. It's like, I'm agreeing to do it, but you got to push me. I'm scared. I need a friend to give me a push. Right? So sometimes again, right, the lessons that we're learning, death and the fear that come up. Hold on. The fear that comes up, right, can make us feel like we're dying. Right? But death is again, I'm learning that endings are merely just new beginnings. Right? Like we're in a new moon in Scorpio. And again, fear. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Challenge on. Can you trust your inner voice that it'll always guide you correctly? I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Right? And that doesn't mean go with every gut feeling you have. That's like after you have a gut feeling, allow those thoughts and feelings to subside a little bit and tap in with your divine feminine and masculine, right? Be head of household while you're doing your accounting and your taxes, right? And it's mind over matter, right? But we don't want to be overwhelmed by our emotions, our premature emotions that we've ejaculated out and then just allowed to leak and flow all over the place, right? Like a virus, whether that's through the air or just leaking out through the waters, right? Through our emotions. Emotion is energy in motion. How does that move? Right? We have the other being, right? Positive, negative, say two atoms, and then a variable. Right? Those are more electrical beings. So they've been, right? Negative, negative, the negative and the negative, right? Looking for a charge, right? So, but wait, why? Right? And get it? Why? Ha ha ha. Y chromosome is male. Sorry. All right. So, right. Why? So the male, the two male, right, are looking for right, because otherwise, right, the Osiris dies, right? The sun goes up, the sun goes down, right? The sun was born when? And how does it become so bright? That's something else we'll have to get into, right? The tilt, right? But in the middle of the night at midnight, right, is 12 a.m. when darkness and, right, birth actually began. And then when humans wake up, right, when our human self wake up, we wake up right at the crack of dawn, generally, right? So they were born after, right? We wake up after. This all falls into play when we can relate the time, the cosmic clocks with they're saying the astronauts, the astro clocks, right? And then our star systems, and then the skin we're in, right? Our consciousness, right? Like, what was that? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Okay, so our consciousness, our subconscious and unconsciousness is what created our conscious self, right? We weren't conscious, even when we're a physical human baby getting birth from a mother. It's not like, okay, I want this now. We don't start to, right, have any kind of idea of what we like or don't like, right, food wise, even until, right, a few months down the line, right, baby starts to have a few different tastes, and then, but otherwise we're just getting food shoved right in our face, right? Whatever mama's going to give you, what you going to get. So that's also part of, right, this first even Adam and the second. And so right now we're cleaning, right, like up. It's like, Adam, Eve, we see you, right? So it's like the God, it's like, so don't get stuck, because then you're just gonna hinder yourself, right? And the fun parts that are around the corner after you bonk into like a dark, deep corner that could be really scary, right? It's just like get stuck in a cobweb. But it's your own cobweb, don't forget too. It's our own stuff that we got to go through, right? Testing the resolve to love. So that fear can come up, it can look like something really scary. But then once we get past the fear and say, okay, hold on a minute. I just have to remember, right? I'm a being of love. I'm agreed to this. My soul, right? It's like, right, breathe a few times. The emotional body and the mental faculties, the mercurial mind that's like cuckoo, cuckoo, all wrapped up in magic cloud number 9. Love potion number 9. Right, we can get caught up in our illusions or caught up somewhere where we can feel safe if we're escaping from something that makes us feel scared or vulnerable or reminds us of something that, right, we don't like. That we decided we don't like or we didn't like up until because we haven't found another way to look at it or perceive it. We haven't found another way to actually find, right, comfort in in the divine and in our now moment, right, in a nutshell, in our own shell, right? So we go running to look for, and right, this is where we get into like addictive behaviors, emotional immaturity, right? Say narcissist, sociopath, psychopath, again, addicted, addict, violence, sexual, right, misconduct. All these behaviors occur, stem, and root from where? Right? If we're not willing to take a look at the uncomfortable things that bring up fear and make us feel uncomfortable, right? Then we're not trusting that inner voice that's going on inside, like, hey, 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 hey. You know, we're just watching that. It's like when cancer and what have you, when dis-ease shows up and manifests in the physical body, right? Or we've now labeled all these mental dis-eases, etc., as well. Well, what are those from, though? They, where's the root value? Where is that coming from? It didn't just appear, right? That's like manifest destiny. It's like, right, it takes time to become aware of, right, who we are. They're saying, oh, sweet child of mine. It's not the song that's playing. That's coming through spirit. Guns and Roses. So it just takes some time for us to acknowledge, right? And then all the words and labels, right? I work in metaphysics, so this is like etymology, vibration, energy. Energy creates form. So the words that we use are vibrational. The thoughts that we think are vibrational. They have positive and negative, right? Magnetic frequencies that create a charge in between them, right? Zigzag zig. How is gravity created? There had to be two magnets set up for gravity to hold stuff in between. Actually, three. The center of the earth is the magnetic core that creates the torus field, the electromagnetic field. And you took my heart away. Oh, I hate myself for loving you. Joan Jett and the Heartbreakers is playing right now. It's funny, I haven't heard that in a long time either. That's why I hate myself for loving you. So let's see. I'm just going to read this whole thing over again because it's very quick and I didn't thoroughly read about the moon. So, moon in Scorpio creates the need to delve into your feelings as deep as possible. You desire meaningful emotional exchanges now more than at any other time, even if it is not easy, and you are forced to change many things. Shallow relationships do not satisfy you because they are not purifying enough. Maybe I did read it all. All brain dead today. um, I'm glitching. You know, we also are getting slammed with solar flares. I think last week we got some super solar flares, and we're in solar cycle, I think 25. I was reading. And I also have some other stuff if you want to check out. I came into my the chromosphere, and the chromosphere, well, I'll get into that after too, but that has to do with it's like when the eclipse, the red ring, the outer atmospheric ring of the sun. So I'll get into that because yeah, that was coming up too. So yeah, you know, the best we can do to raise our vibrations and be part of, right, a collective healing conscious, right, is we don't got to be perfect. We don't got to run around saying sorry. We just have to be who we are meant to be, and that's all. right? Once we start worrying too much, right? That fucking fear starts creeping up. Oh, if I do this, then da-da-da, or I already did ABC. Well, a place to start, if you're living with a lot of regret and feelings of guilt and shame, right? And feeling low down. I got low down, dirty shame right here. If you're feeling like a low down, dirty shame, it's like, that's okay. It's not like, yeah, good, feel that way. No, it's okay that you feel that way for this now moment, because this too shall pass. Take a moment to take a look at shit, right? And acknowledge it. And that way you can look at yourself, to ask yourself, forgive yourself, first of all, in your heart. And then ask in your heart for others to forgive you as well. And that's a start, right? And that don't take too much genius, and you don't have to be some skillful artist, etc. Right? So, and that's when, right, Holy Spirit divides like, oh, okay, they're starting to wake up. Okay, they're gonna do it. They're doing it. And they're like, yeah. Who doesn't get excited when something's about to be born? Right? And every thought that we have is birthing something. So what kind of things, right? Taking a look at what we're birthing, what we're, right, what we're what's getting thrown off to the side, thrown off the boat. Oh. Experiences and different perceptions and ways of looking at things and interpreting things due to the experience they've had, where they've come from, their origin, their roots, the other people, places, and things that they've gotten mixed up in, or right, that our souls are all torn apart in the beginning, in order, because at first two magnets repel, right, positive and negative, so they're going to go farther away from each other, and they didn't even know, about each other, right? Until all of a sudden those magnets are going to make a U-turn, because now they're going to start coming toward one another, the negative and the positive. And then they gain momentum, and then smack, big bang, sign of the cross, the Nazi sign, the swastika, they say, right? The swastika, it ain't no Nazi sign. That shit was like, that was used as, just like many things are being, fear porn, violence, confusion. But it's all just part of, right? Grand illusion. Pay no attention to that man behind the veil, behind the fucking curtain. And was Ross. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. What else we got here? What else did I bring up for the moon? Down. Listen to Tom Petty. You don't know how it feels. Article. Bear with me a second. I got quite a bit pulled up here. I always do, unfortunately. Takes me a while to go through all my. I pull it up and I'm never done. Another time. I gotta go, and you don't know how it feels. Right? This is Tom Petty. You don't know how it feels to be me. you don't know this song, Tom Petty. The frick did my Sabian symbols go? I had it pulled right the fuck up so it was here, and I was all prepared for you, and it's hiding on me. What's happening? I'm so messed up. So offended right now. I'm just gonna have to, whatever. I'm just gonna pull open a new tab. I guess I had it. I literally had it pulled up. That's so crazy. What the? What the funk? Okay, here we are. Making me go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That was not right. Okay, so this is 0 degree. Sorry, it was maybe a loud clap. I apologize. 0 degree Scorpio for the new moon in Scorpio. This symbol speaks of, it's a sightseeing bus filled with tourists. This symbol speaks of taking in the world through the senses, seeing, tasting, observing, and getting in amongst what's going on. There can be a feeling of knowing one's destination, having a map or guide, but not always knowing what it is truly like, right? We may have directions to get there, but the ride or the trip on the way there is a whole nother story, right? Pictures and souvenirs of your journey are likely to be collected. The trick with this degree is to throw yourself into life. Reach out for all sorts of adventures, and most of all, enjoy the ride. Observing life, foreign territories, seeing how other people live, timing, being on time. And that doesn't mean rabbit, rabbit, like from Alice in Wonderland. I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late. Well, then we're going to miss a whole bunch of stuff. Be in your now and present moments so you're right on time. The time is always now. So it doesn't mean we just, whatever, nothing matters. No. But just, right, we want to just become a little more consciously aware, right? Which is a whole different thing. That's right. Big difference. Okay, watching from afar. Lots of watchings going on right now. The untried and untrodden, or the same old road. That's death. Same old, mundane old, right? UFOs and aliens. Which we don't even use those words no more, right? Though, but like right now we use UAPs, right? And in fairness, right? Alien means unknown, foreign, like completely foreign, not known at all, right? Like once we start to allow divine in a little more, or the other thing, again, we come from the stars. So that's our extraterrestrial, ultra terrestrial, right? Star systems, our stars systems, right? Earth is also a star, the Earth star. We have a chakra above, right? The Earth star chakra is above the crown chakra. Right, let's see. Feelings of naivety and gullibility, feeling like an alien, even in familiar surroundings. Oh, I can totally relate with that. Getting out of one's depth, separation anxiety, and inability to concentrate. Well, I was definitely a perfect example of that. Like I was saying, I'm not really good at compartmentalizing anyhow, but yeah, concentration can be well, yeah, the inability to concentrate. Yeah, getting right. It's we're in water. Everything's water. So allow yourself to be fluid and to be moved around, like it said, right? So seeing, observing what's going on. There could be a feeling of knowing one's destination, having a map or a guide, but not always knowing what it's truly like. So we may think it's going to be one way, right? And yeah, that's not, that ain't how it is, or that ain't what happened. Or we may think we're not going to like it and we're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I did that. I learned ABC, right? And 1, 2, 3, and whatever have you. So looking for the experience and being appreciative of the journey rather than, right, trying to win the competition and get to the end of the line, the finish line, right? If we keep operating in too many lines and boxes and squares and what have you, that's the feeling of enslavement and entrapment, right? And then we have, right, slave like mentality, and then we're just living in fear, But again, being grateful for all the things that have been put in place to instill, right, the fear of God or whatever fear in us also, because, right, think about this, right? If when a baby's born, especially a human baby, right, animals are different. Some things are born and can walk, fly, eat on their own, etc. Right, babies need to be nurtured and take care of, right, especially a human. They all do, but right, I'm just talking about human. But if we put a baby down somewhere, like, it's like they don't know not to, right, crawl off the end of a couch or a table, or what was that movie, Baby's Day Out or whatever, Baby's Day Out. That shit's funny. And the baby goes crawling all over the place, and Mother Nature, it's like something keeps saving the baby that's wandering all through like New York City. So it's just like, right, allowing, right, that blind faith, right? Don't forget justice is blind, and having blind faith is something that, it doesn't mean like, oh, just throw your hands up in the air and, okay, like willy-nilly, whatever. That's not what, right, we're saying. It's like finding that sweet spot and having, again, right, trusting, right, your inner voice. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. So it's not always going to be right. It's not always going to have the answer. Like, here it is, right? It's guidance. It's like when you're driving, like what we just said here, right? You could have a map or a guide, but not always know what it's truly like. So, right, let's decide to go, right? We're here on a trip and we're going to go there. So there's point B, right? Say it's Florida. So wherever you are right now from point A, and I'm somewhere different. Say we're going to meet in Florida. Say one of us drives, one of us flies. We could both drive, but we're still leaving from different, right, destinational points. Or maybe we're leaving from the same point. Maybe we're going to leave together. Different possibilities, right, and variables that come into play after a decision that we make. So just because we make a decision, that doesn't include all, right, the meat, right, the pages that are in the book, all the things that we experience in the amount of time in between said point A and B. And that just could be from, the beginning to the end of this video, or the beginning to the end of a sentence that said we feel different, or a word. One word can open up, right, many doors. We can look at it from many different perceptions, right? Many different points, so that we have more, right, flow and abundance within our thoughts and feelings. So we're not so narrow-minded and quick to, right, cut others down, block, get so defensive and overreactive or over emotional, and then, right, be living in a life of, say, regret, guilt, again, all these heavy feelings that we call, right, that we've been living in hell, right, walking upon the earth while we've been growing, right, up into, like, it doesn't matter how old we are now. Okay, it's like we all now, like, how old do you feel when your eyes are closed? right? We're in the age of Aquarius, right? So what age are we all in? So all those things still mean what they, it's like, okay, they're markers and things that they're part of us, just like our name, but that doesn't define, right? Shit. That's just part of, what the vibration that we're in right now. Say you're 45, also vibration of 4 and 5, and 4 and 5 together is also 9, right? So you're carrying vibrations of those numbers, right, of whatever age you are presently, right? That the whole throughout the whole year, right? Predominantly. So like look into the numbers of whatever age you are, you know, singularly, your birth date, add the numbers together, the month and the date that you were born and the year. And when you add all those numbers together, the sum of them is your life path number. That's something could be quite, like eye opening, right? The goal is to discover, right, America, ourselves more within. So we have to elder already grown up and we're so big and bad and we already know all this stuff. We do up until a certain point that we're at now, but now we have to self and look at ourselves with a whole new set of eyes. And what you may find, you may be very surprised. Okay, so that's how we dig for gold, and it will be very scary at first. It's like there's some things we may not want to take a look at. It's like, or we try to say, why living in planes and what have you, we use in order to, right, connect and click into these terms and do these great works. If you're engaging and just saying, I accept, challenge on, I accept, right? That you're going to listen a little more to your inner voice, 555, rather than all the outside, right, influenza, right? And even the ones that we've been holding on to, believing, and right, the matrix is the belief system that we've been, right, entangled within for so long, right? Again, it's very fearful to step out of that. Well, people are gonna get mad at me. I've always been this way. If I start to eat different now, people are gonna get upset. They're gonna like think and they're gonna yell at you and tell you, what do you think, you're better? You have an ego. Whether you decide you're gonna start eating more healthy and not eating the same foods that that everybody else is gonna eat, it's like your body's letting you know. It's like you need to make a change. You can't keep eating that way no more. So it doesn't mean, right? It's like I'm not gonna knock you, but you're gonna get some heat for it, because when people start to see shift, we're all comfortable as humans with kind of sitting in our shit, right? We like to know what's going to happen, so to speak. So it's like, okay, I know I have this much money. I know I have to go to work. I have this much gas in my car, right? The kids are home. I got, right, toilet paper in the bathroom, right? Clean underwear and socks to wear for the next day. We like to know, right? Are you going to meet me tomorrow? Can you or can't you? Do you agree or not? We want to know, right? So we want to answer, we want to know so we feel safe. But again, a lot of time we make plans that work out how we thought, right? We may have the map or the guide, but it didn't happen the way we planned it or thought it out or what have you, right? It can happen with anything, a job, a relationship, a moment. Thought I was going to like to eat something and I ordered it and bleh, I did not like it. Or I didn't think I was going to like it and I loved it, right? We can surprise ourselves either way. So just being more open to allowing the experience, right? Instead of being so, right, what was the other card we pulled before? Judgmental. I don't remember what card we pulled, but I'm gonna put it away. Right, without judgment. Right, doing things without judgment. So, but of course, we're gonna still kind of. It's like, oh, we have those things, so it's not like, oh, I'm judging. Don't beat yourself up. Acknowledge what you're feeling and thinking, and then right, slow your roll so that your cradle ain't rocking all over the place, and you're not causing more choppy waves and ripples in the water for everybody else. Right, and we all do it. So it's just again, we're all becoming a little more aware. And I guess, once we also like it's like once we see whose toes we're stepping on, we're all like, complaining who's stepping on ours. But we have to like self-reflect and like look at again, go into the depths of self, look into the shadows of self, the depths, the reflections, right? Where we deflect and we play ninja kung fu, block, block, block. So all the places, all the, again, think of the different energetic bodies that you have. How do we feel if we're getting yelled at? Feels it, right? We feel like we're being electrocuted. We're getting shocked with thunder and lightning. All that shuffling. The moon, can you even see that? It's all dark now. The moon with the cat. Oh, and we got reflections and shit. New moon in Scorpio. Black cat in the field. Whoa. Reminder. Don't forget. Don't forget to love yourself. Don't forget to remember who the fuck you are. Got Motley Crue on. Kickstart my heart. Somebody need a kickstart? Somebody need a jump start? Kickstart my heart. Oh, they're flying. Flying monkeys. High priestess of spirit. No more monkeys jumping on the bed. Marathon. Out moon again. Nicey nice. Was it 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed? One fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. Now you go 4 down to 3, 2, and 1. I don't know how I got hurt. What were you doing? Nothing. Were you jumping on the bed? No. Fragment. So finding that fragment of self so that we can find our peace, right? Peace of mind is the most important thing to have, right? That peace, that safety we're all looking for. But if we're already checked out, right? All of us left the building a long time ago due to the fear we were feeling, or again due to abuse, because parts of us check out when we go through certain experiences. So allowing ourselves to slowly trust that inner voice, right? And that is something you have control over, right? We may not have control over all the other things we thought we had control over, right? The map and the guide, we got the directions and the instructions. So, but then when we go to put it together or go on our way, it ain't right. It ain't 1, 2, 3. Right. So that in itself is something to accept, and then take a breath, and just in that itself, brings you to a lighter place, right? Okay, I don't have control over all that. We can do this, but I can't expect everything to go according to the way I'm thinking it in my head right now. The idea is going to be different than the experience, right? I got a flipper. So yeah. Twisted sister. It's complicated. And we have a saying we like to say in say recovery called KISS. Mwah. It's complicated, simply difficult, but keep it simple, sweetheart. That's another acronym. We like working with acronyms. Cycles is what jumped. What jumped? Oh. Belonging, House of the Night. That's a good one for the new Scorpio moon at 6:03. Twisted sister. We're not gonna take it. Strength anymore. And please like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and share, and comment, or whatever energetic contribution you'd like to put in. I appreciate little seeds everywhere we plant, they grow. Honesty, individuality, deceit. So we can have others in our life that are, right, deceitful because why? And can seem real rigid. And we may have to muster up a lot of patience and strength. They're saying, you're only condescending. People are condescending, etc. So people are, they're only coming from a place of fear, right? That's where we come from when we're not feeling like we belong, right? We're missing our sense of belonging, right? That fragment. So these are just cycles that we're going through, right? And again, big solar flares. So when the solar flares, we just had a huge solar flare storm like last week, which creates, right, corona mass ejections from our sun. So if you're feeling really exhausted and like ooh, I feel like I don't know what the fuck, I'm just exhausted, all that. That's why. We're not gonna take it. My ears clogged. So having strength, right, sometimes means letting go. Like Rosie Perez and White, what was that, White Man Can't Jump? Sometimes in order to win, you gotta lose. And sometimes in order to lose, you gotta win. Or to know that, right, what losing is like. I forgot how she says it, but ain't that the truth? And we all live in it. Whoa, excuse me. 606. Living dead proof. Oof. You'll see. No, we ain't gonna take it. Funny. And then, what else am I gonna do? Oh yeah, 12 degrees Scorpio. I wanted to also do Scorpio. No way, it said 12 degrees at 12. I guess maybe when the Scorpio. I don't know, computer. Okay, we'll read this and I'm going to close out. An inventor performs a laboratory experiment. Mm. This symbol shows the ability or necessity of being able to take risks, to be an explorer, or someone who does things rather differently than most people. Black sheep. Who's the black sheep? All right, stepping out of line again, or when you start to change any one thing, people that we're used to, right, being in relations with, people they can start to get upset. So you just gotta, right, keep listening to that inner voice. Trust, right? We do everything with love, but we're gonna get heat. We're gonna get, right. Da, 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 people kind of trying to yell and come down at us, but that's just because they're coming from a place of fear, because they're afraid they might maybe lose us, right? They don't want to lose that bond with us, but we're never going to lose one another. So stunt our own growth in order to stay behind due to, right, feeling of fear, because we're afraid, right, of the new beginning we're about to find, right? We do have to kill, say, old things. We have to cut, right? Just allow ourselves to accept listening to that inner voice, because there are going to be certain things that fall away, but don't let the fear control you and override the experience that, right, we're all having. As 609. Oh, we got air element. I can feel it coming. Communicating, 39. And it's 609. So we got 609 and 3 and 9. 639 Tesla numbers. Magic number 9. And Jupiter 7, abundance. All right, so let's see. Differently than most people, it's your job to look for creative solutions and work with them. When things are just not working, you probably need to try different combinations and different possibilities in order to have the desired result. Being willing to go out on a limb can bring all kinds of unexpected results, some wonderfully rewarding, but some, if not well considered, could end up blowing up in your face. What's this we got? Part of fortune, increase. Well, I got Jupiter, abundance, and part of fortune. See where part of fortune is in your natal chart too. Mm, by persevering, you will not only find solutions to complex situations, but also learn a lot from any errors you make along the way. Bless you. And right, when we find multiple, and we're able to not only just help ourselves, but pass that knowledge on to, right, our kin, our sisters, our sons, our brothers, right, our mothers and fathers, etc. Everything gets, it's like, okay, we just keep swimming. So everything gets put where it needs to when we stay in the flow, right? And that's number 11 too. And it's an 11 day, and down equal 11. Let's see. Ain't that America? That's what's playing right now. Creating one's vision, being prepared to risk failure, taking calculated risks, looking for answers, go trials, making things up, being one-eyed and focused to the exclusion of all else, ignoring warning signs, always pushing boundaries. And so it could be also like a little, right? Like in the reverse, they're a little too negative, right? Outcomes obscured by pointless goals. We're just gonna keep doing it anyway, and right, making things up. No, I didn't do. Oh, no, 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 no. Or pretending and acting aloof, I don't know what you're talking about. I would, huh? What do you mean? What? Being one-eyed and focused, right? Putting all your eggs in one basket, right? Again, being too, right? Focused on, right, a finish line or a, right? Look, Aquarius. We're talking about age of Aquarius too. I know. I know doesn't mean I know all the answers. I know everything. No, it means I know to listen to and accept that inner voice that's guiding me. Right? It's not the magic 8-ball answer, right? It's like it right? It's like it's just guidance. So then we have to have discernment, and it's like right then we have so then we can make a decision a little bit more clearly and come from that that place of, right, say divinity, or just at least a little bit more, right, calculated, like we're saying here, a little bit more, right, we're using our intellect and our creative, right, intuition to listen to the feelings and the thoughts that we're experiencing, so we're coming from a more balanced place. We're not just lashing out and jetting out across the street. Why'd the chicken cross the road? I don't know. Why does he keep crossing the road? And why do we have to keep having organ trafficking and shit? It's just silly now. Ain't that America? So when Willie, or like Cthulhu, being too focused on to the exclusion of all else. Yeah. Narrow-minded, only looking one way, ignoring warning signs. But here's Saturn to bring out the truth and always pushing boundaries. So sometimes there's a time for all that, right? Again, there's season, a reason and a season. So sometimes it may be time for something, and other times it's not, right? But depending on that moment in time is how we make a decision, right? So we can't just go to the amusement park every day, right? We can't just eat, right? It's like once in a blue moon, okay to, like, right, maybe splurge on something that may give you a stomach ache, but should you eat it every day and say that that's how you're eating and that you're eating healthy, and wondering why, right, we manifest all this sickness in our life and are walking around like, right, like trying to drive a car without changing the oil. It's the same shit. It's like, well, I don't know what's going on. Earth element, stability, and eighth house, endings and beginnings. So another Pluto, Scorpio, and also, and Kali. You know, Kali actually is a what represents the scorpion. You know, like Kali Mash, you got all the arms. I have one of them actually. Had this for a long time here. Kali is not on this one, but Kali and Shiva. I think I did one of the thumbnails, a video earlier, was of Kali. And that's why, right? And see Shiva holding the trident here. And what was it too? Like, yeah, coming from fire and air into earth and water. Capricorn and Venus and Mars. And Mars going into a water sign. And I think Venus, right, coming back down a little to Earth. I love these cards. These are Black Moon deck. So super cool. I so appreciate you coming and hanging out and spending time and energy, spending without using our moolah. And I don't even have donations and stuff up here or anything yet. Maybe one of these days we'll see. So if anybody's saying that they're second house owning, they're me and they're giving you readings or any kind of shit and pictures and whatever in my name, it ain't me. Not yet, anyhow. Grand Trine. There's lots of haters and copycatters. What's this? 11th house friends. Haterators. And North Node, life's purpose. Okay, so you're gonna have friends are coming in, right? So whether like listen to you got ancestors coming in, spirit guides, right? You have friends coming in. So again, we got that. They're telling you, let you know, remind to trust that inner voice because you're going to be receiving a lot of messages. And again, too, right? Makes sense. We're getting also right, get hit with those solar flares, the corona mass ejections. So take care of your body. Get the rest you need. Tomorrow's Friday. I don't know when you'll be listening to this presently, but whenever it is, it's the right time. So get the rest that you need because we all get hit with different waves, right, at different times. That's right. If we're all in the water, it's like it's not going to always affect us all the same, or you know, sometimes we're at different parts in the water, and a wave could be bigger over here, and one of us gets hit with the wave and the other one it's like it's already died down by that time and it's like whoop, they didn't even feel it. It's already part of the collective, right? It's just already is, so it's like there's no turbulence. So we all take it, you take it with stride. Sometimes we get hit and sometimes we get to let it slide, right? So, and then vice versa. So take your rest when you receive those moments and you're guided, right? Your inner voice is like, hey, I know normally you ABC, but you should rest right now because, right, we're about to go through a big one. It's like giving birth. We're about to go through big labor pains, right? We're gonna have some huge contractions. So don't worry about what time it is on the clock. Worry about what time your internal clock is telling you what time it is. Or is it hungry? You need to maybe stop eating certain things you're eating, stop listening to certain people, stop listening to that voice that keeps replaying that replay tape in your head. Right. Pay attention to the little messages that you're receiving. Certain animals, spirit animals that may be passing through your, right, a bird you may see outside, or a certain, right, something may, right, whatever kind of pops out a little extra at you, right? Maybe look up the metaphysical meaning to it, look up the etymology to that word, right? It could be ancestors talking, etc. Spirit can't come talk to you like, hey, remember? And if it did, would you not jump out of your fucking skin and then become spirit too? It's like, then you like, right? It's like, they do exist. So, right, little bites at a time. Caterpillars, right? Little bites at a time. And we'll get there just fine, right? We'll be where we need to be right when we need to be then. Ain't that divine? All right. I so appreciate it again. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. And again, please like, subscribe, hit the bell. It really helps. Pass it along. Ask some friends to subscribe so we can grow. And I shall see you next time. Peace out.